Good evening. You're watching To The Point. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. Why is it that the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Shiv Sena are at loggerheads once again? This time over the contentious issue of Hindutva. Both seem to suggest that they have very different definitions of Hindutva. But having said that, they were in bed together for over 25 years as a natural alliance. Take a look. Friends turned foes at war again. Shiv Sena versus BJP. The face-off this time over the statement of Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray, addressing party workers on the 96th birth anniversary of Bal Thackeray. Uddhav Thackeray stirred the pot of festering animosity with this statement.
आज सुद्धा माझं थोडेसे नाही म्हटलं तरी फिजिओथेरपी चालू आहे, पण लवकरात लवकर मी बाहेर तर पडणार, महाराष्ट्र पिंजून काढणार आणि तुमच्या सोबत तुमच्या साथीने जे भगव्याचं तेज आहे ते आज संजय आपण जे बोललात की जे विरोधक माझ्या तब्येतीची काळजी घेतायत याचं कारण आपण त्यांना पोचलंच. आणि मी मागे एकदा बोललो होतो, मला वाटतं आपल्या गोरेगावच्या शिबिरात की 25 वर्ष आपली युतीमध्ये सडली.
The BJP, stung by the charge that it used Hindutva for convenience, hit back. Former Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis led the charge, stating this was frustration talking on the Shiv Sena finishing fourth in the recent local body polls.
बाळासाहेब ठाकरेंच्या निर्णयावर तुम्ही बोट दाखवत आहात का? भाजप सोबत शिवसेना सडत असताना बाळासाहेबांनी शिवसेनेला सडक ठेवलं असं तुमचं म्हणणं आहे का? तुमचा पक्ष जन्माला यायच्या आधी मुंबईमध्ये आमचा नगरसेवक होता.
The fight for the Hindutva title cuts deep with both the Shiv Sena and the BJP in attack mode.
शिवसेना का जन्म भाजपा का जन्म से पहले हुआ है, उनको याद नहीं. और विधायक नहीं थे, कॉर्पोरेटर्स थे, वो बोल रहे थे कुछ. उनको भी थोड़ा इतिहास का ज्ञान लेना पड़ेगा. शिवसेना 50 साल पूरी कर चुकी है और भारतीय जनता पार्टी का जन्म जनता पार्टी के बाद हुआ है.
स्वयं बाला साहब ने कहा था कि राजनीति में वे किसी भी हालात में और जीवन में कभी भी उनका दल कांग्रेस के साथ समझौता कतई नहीं करेगा. और दुर्भाग्य से ऐसे हालात उत्पन्न होते हैं तो वे शिवसेना दल को ताला लगाना पसंद करेंगे, पर कतई कांग्रेस के साथ हाथ नहीं मिलाएंगे.
History stands testimony to the friendship and the falling out of the BJP and the Shiv Sena. The BJP and the Sena, a natural alliance, together for over 25 years, fell out over power sharing after the 2019 Maharashtra polls. The Sena tied up with ideologically opposite NCP and Congress to form the Mahavikas Aghadi government. The BJP since has blamed the Shiv Sena for selling out to what they call anti-Hindu parties for power. The wounds now run so deep that the Shiv Sena is actively taking on the BJP over the upcoming elections in 5 states. But the ultimate contest will be on who is the true Hindu Hriday Samrat. Bureau Report, India Today. All right, joining me for this political face-off this evening is Priyanka Chaturvedi. She's the Member of Parliament, Rajya Sabha, and spokesperson of the Shiv Sena. I'll be joined very shortly by Dr. Kushal Mishra, BJP spokesperson. Ms. Chaturvedi, the biggest charge which was laid at the doorstep of the Shiv Sena is that it is an insult when Uddhav Thackeray said that 25 years was abject wastage in alliance with the BJP, because the BJP says it was an alliance brokered by Bala Sahib Thackeray. It's an insult to him.
Actually, it's not an insult to him. It is actually a revelation of facts and the truth about what Bharatiya Janata Party is and how it has used Hindutva politics only for personal gain and to stay in power. how they've used Hindutva politics only as a tool to continue, getting more power. So for them to, talk about betrayal of trust, etc., is actually laughable. And I can tell you this with all honesty of intent, that if Bala Sahebji was around today, he would have actually not wanted an alliance with Bharatiya Janata Party, a party which talks for Hindus, talks about Hindus, but does nothing for the Hindus, whether they are in Bangladesh, whether they are in Afghanistan, whether they are in Pakistan, whether it is in Kerala, whether it is in Kashmir. And for all their big talk after coming to power, they have done nothing on ground for them. And using ED, IT, CBI to continue staying in power continues to show that Bharatiya Janata Party is a party which uses the name of Hindus, the sentiments of Hindus, for its for staying in power and consolidating its power.
Ms. Chaturvedi, the other charge is that has this realization come in at the back of 2019 when the Shiv Sena did not get the chief ministership chair and then moved on to another alliance, because till then everything seemed completely fine in this alliance?
Actually, no, it wasn't fine in the alliance. 2014, if you would remember, we fought separately. We continued coming. We came back together in an alliance after an understanding on both sides that there would be equality of relationship, and Bharatiya Janata Party, the way it has behaved with Shiromani Akali Dal, the way it has behaved with its other alliance partners, its long-standing allies, today they stand alone. And they do not have any strong alliance partner alongside them just because they have the arrogance of power right now. And that is, and people who helped them in their journey to consolidate this power are today, treated in the way they were being treated. So 2014 also, we did not want to share power with them. However, circumstances made us work together. 2019, I think, was the breaking point when they could not even stand up. The Bharatiya Janata Party could not even stand up to the commitments they had made to its alliance. So I think it is quite legitimate in a democracy like Bharatiya Janata Party has been doing, whether it's PDP, whether it's Haryana, whether it is Goa, whether it is other parts of the country, whether it is in Andhra Pradesh. They have done this over and over again to consolidate its own power and shown that democracy can also work with other alliance partners. So we are doing exactly the same.
Ms. Chaturvedi, we are just waiting in the next 1 minute. Mr. Mishra from the Bharatiya Janata Party is going to be with us. But the biggest issue in all of this is seen to be the contentious point of Hindutva. Why is it that the Shiv Sena feels now that the BJP is exploiting Hindutva?
Actually, we don't feel this now. We have been saying this through our various editorials, even when we were in an alliance with them. We have been maintaining this repeatedly, that there is a point where you have to work on ground for the Hindus rather than just playing with the sentiments of Hindus. It was in 2018 that Shri Uddhav Thackeray had gone, Shiv Sena as a party had gone to Ayodhya and spoken about why Ram Mandir needs to be there and how it becomes a matter of importance for the Shiv Sena, not politically, but because of what it believes in and what it stands for. And it was only after that that we saw activities happening in the Supreme Court and Supreme Court coming with a decision. Again, the Bharatiya Janata Party shied away from that. They did not take a political call on it. So the idea of wanting to play with the sentiments, to use those sentiments to consolidate their vote base and their power, it only smacks of the double standards that BJP does. They stay silent on various atrocities against Hindus. They do not speak up. They do double speak in various states, on alliances, on Hindutva and various other issues. So they need to be exposed, and we, being the longest standing ally who have worked alongside them, have seen how they function, are actually the best suited to expose what they stand for, the hypocrisy that Bharatiya Janata Party is.
Priyanka Chaturvedi, the BJP says that this is all frustration talking. The local body polls have just happened. You finished 4th, and that's the reason why you're suddenly bringing up all these issues.
This is really funny coming from the Bharatiya Janata Party. If they're talking about frustration, who can be more frustrated than someone who was sworn in for less than 24 hours as the Maharashtra chief minister, the man who kept saying Punah Yen, and has not been able to. He's tried flaunt every rule book. He's also tried to undermine the constitution, but continues to stay out of power. And people of the state continue to endorse the chief minister as one of the most popular chief ministers the state has ever seen. And it's your own India Today poll which has shown that repeatedly since 2019, since Shri Uddhavji has taken charge. So it is the frustration on the Bharatiya Janata Party showing. And now about the local body polls. Let me tell you, Shiv Sena has contested more seats than ever before in these Nagar Panchayat elections. and we have got more seats as compared to what we used to contest in these polls. So it is not the number that matters. How we are consolidating ourselves also is an indicator that Bharatiya Janata Party is on its way out in terms of confidence from in the minds of the people of Maharashtra, and in terms of how they stand for nothing at all for Maharashtra or for the country.
Okay. Priyanka Chaturvedi, one thing that has been brought up from either sides is what happened where the Babri Masjid demolition took place. Right after that, what the Shiv Sena has said is that there was a massive Shiv Sena wave and the Shiv Sena didn't capitalize on it. In politics, whose fault is that?
I do not want to get into a blame game. But the fact of the matter is that, yes, we chose to let them be the national party and continue working on national consolidation, working across various states. And I can say this with total honesty of intent, that they continue to use Hindu Hriday Samrat Bala Sahibji's name to consolidate their voter base, because they know he continues to be one of the most popular person in the minds and hearts of the Hindu population across the country. So they continue to use political parties for their further gain. But yes, this was a conscious call taken at that point in time, that we would restrict ourselves to Maharashtra. We will work in Maharashtra, while Bharatiya Janata Party can use his popularity to be able to consolidate for a larger cause. But they are the people who have backstabbed not just the idea of what Bala Sahibji stood for, they have backstabbed the party which was the longest standing ally with them. And today when they talk about frustration and hypocrisy, I think they need to be shown a mirror, which I think our Honorable Chief Minister did yesterday.
But the BJP also says, it was something which was said today in the press conference by Mr. Fadnavis as well, is that it was the BJP that took the bullets. It was the BJP Karyakartas that were on ground. The Shiv Sena at that time, including Bal Thackeray, did not do anything else but give speeches.
Oh my God. When Mr. Fadnavis talks, he honestly forgets what the history says, and who stood in the court, and who went as one of the accused, and who also claimed and also ensured that people were there supporting the Bharatiya Janata Party at that moment in time. But I'm not going to get into that. All I'm trying to say here is a Bharatiya Janata Party, which, whether you talk about Shiromani Akali Dal, whether you talk about Shiv Sena, or you talk about its other alliances, that they have only used them to grow, consolidate further and backstab them. And that is the grim reality. And today I can say this with all honesty, that if Bala Sahib, Hindu Hriday Samrat Bala Sahibji would be here, he would have not wanted to ally with a party which undermines constitution, which undermines democracy, which undermines all the institutions that get a country to run for their own personal gain.
I'll ask you one quick question, Priyanka Chaturvedi, before I let you go. And we'll get back on that as well, because a lot of people from the Shiv Sena have been saying this through and through, that how through the years it is the Shiv Sena which had, the mantle of Hindutva. It was the Shiv Sena which there was a huge wave for it. But, in politics, and I'll ask you that question again, the fact that Shiv Sena missed the bus at that time of going national, the blame lies only with the party, nobody else.
No, I think it is also about what was the need of the hour at that point in time. A Bharatiya Janata Party which was just at 2-odd seats, 30-odd seats, it was the bigger priority was to ensure that this entire idea of alliance partners coming together. So what we missed the bus then does not mean that we will continue to suffer the indignities in the future. So we have to track our own path. Okay. We have to forge our own path, which we're doing. And we have started with Dadra Nagar Haveli, and I can tell you with confidence that in times to come, we will ensure that no bus is missed, and we continue to consolidate across the country.
Would you stay on with me? Would you stay on with me? We finally have Mr. Mishra who's joining us live. Mr. Mishra, you've come in at the fag end of the last 3 minutes of this debate, but I would reckon, it's a missed opportunity there. But Mishra ji, आप मुझे ये बताइए ऐसा क्यों है कि जो हिंदू हृदय सम्राट का टाइटल है उस पे अब ये जंग सी छिड़ गई है, जो शिवसेना ने साफ कहा है कि जो 25 साल आपके साथ गुजारे वो रिग्रेट है, नहीं होना चाहिए था।
ये तो बाला साहब ठाकरे अगर आज जिद्दा होते, जिन्होंने ये कहा था, मुझे याद है जब बाबरी मस्जिद का ढांचा गिरा था उस समय सारे लोग बच रहे थे, लेकिन बाला साहब एक ऐसे शेर थे जिन्होंने ये कहा था उस समय में कि मुझे गर्व है अगर शिव सैनिकों ने बाबरी मस्जिद को तोड़ा है। तो वो हिंदुत्व वाले बाला साहब थे। शिवसेना अब वो बाला साहब की भी शिवसेना नहीं रह गई है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी का अलायंस बाला साहब की शिवसेना से था। ये अपॉर्चुनिस्टिक शिवसेना जो चंद वोटों के लिए और चंद महीनों की सत्ता के लिए अपनी आइडियोलॉजी को चेंज कर देती है, एकदम गिरगिट की तरह रंग बदल देती है। आज उनका हिंदुत्व सो रहा है। आज उनका हिंदुत्व खतरे में नहीं है। इसके पहले उनका हिंदुत्व खतरे में होता था। क्यों? क्योंकि उन्होंने 5 साल भारतीय जनता पार्टी के साथ मिलकर के सत्ता की मलाई चख ली। तो अब उन्हें मलाई चखने का नशा है, मजा आ गया है, इसलिए वो अपनी आइडियोलॉजी को छोड़ करके, भारतीय जनता पार्टी का साथ छोड़ करके, जिसके दम पे वो उंगली पकड़ के चलना सीखे थे, उसको छोड़ करके अब वो दूसरी पार्टियों में जा रहे हैं। जा सकते हैं, राजनीति कर सकते हैं,
प्रियंका चतुर्वेदी आंसर करेंगे,
लेकिन आइडियोलॉजी की बात ना करें।
पर मिश्रा जी सवाल ये भी है, किसने किसकी उंगली पकड़ी? मिश्रा जी सुनिए, सवाल सुनिए।
बाला साहब जी की बात ना करें। बाला साहब जी
मिश्रा जी सवाल सुनेंगे।
आज की शिवसेना के
आपको आवाज आ रही है मेरी?
कतई नहीं थे।
आपको मेरी आवाज आ रही है? बात यह भी है कि किसने किसकी उंगली पकड़ी। शिवसेना कह रही है आपने उनकी उंगली पकड़ी। महाराष्ट्र में कुछ भी नहीं थे आप, और आपको सबसे ऊपर रखा है।
हमारी उंगली पकड़ के उनके लोग केंद्रीय मंत्री बने, कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर बने, हमारी साथ में मिलकर के उनकी शिवसेना की सरकार बनी। हम ये नहीं कहते कि ये सिर्फ 19 और 20 की बात है। दोनों एक साथ चले थे, तभी दोनों लोगों ने इतने दिन तक अपने आइडियोलॉजी पे काम किया। हिंदुत्व के बारे में जो शिवसेना का वर्जन था, जा करके देश के हिंदुओं से पूछिए, जो मराठियों से पूछिए, जो बाला साहब ठाकरे के अनुयायी थे, उनसे पूछिए कि शिवसेना कितना बदली है। आपको पता चल जाएगा। ये शिवसेना के जो आज के शिवसैनिक हैं, वो भी शर्म करते हैं आज के नेतृत्व पे। क्यों? क्योंकि उन्होंने, बात ये नहीं है, राजनीति कर सकते हैं, लेकिन अपने आप के ऊपर से हिंदुत्व का तमगा उतार दीजिए, हिंदू हृदय सम्राट का तमगा उतार दीजिए। वो बाला साहब चले गए जो हिंदू हृदय सम्राट होते थे और जिनकी वजह से देश का हिंदू गर्व करता था।
चलिए, ऑल राइट। प्रियंका चतुर्वेदी, would you like to respond?
No, I will. Yes, I would like to, because I just heard the second part of whatever he was saying, and the kind of statements he was making, the kind of claims he was making. I mean, do you think I'm even here to take a certificate of Hindutva from these people? From this party, which has only used the religion, who has only used the sentiments of the people of Hindu Dharma, who have only tried to misuse their sentiments and their emotions for their own vote bank, will tell me, will give us certificates, and will give Hindu Hriday Samrat certificates, and what he stands for. And let me remind this person here, the BJP spokesperson, that if it wasn't in 2018 when Uddhav ji went to Ayodhya, probably we would not even have had the Supreme Court hearing, and you all would have continued for another 5 years trying to talk about Ayodhya Ram Temple and not built it. So we're committed to it, and he was the first chief minister who went. Please keep quiet. I did not interrupt you. All I'll say is he was the first chief minister, sitting chief minister in this country, who went to Ayodhya, and Shiv Sena was proud to say it was the first political party which made its contribution in the building of Ram Temple.
All right,
so all these dhongis need to keep
मिश्रा
quiet.
जी, आप अपनी उंगली तो जरूर उठा रहे हैं, पर मैं आपको बोल दूं कि आप डिबेट के बिल्कुल आखिरी पलों क्षणों में आए हैं। डिबेट खत्म है। आपको पहले आना चाहिए था, नहीं तो बता देते नहीं आ रहे थे। पर बहुत शुक्रिया हमसे जुड़ने का। I thank both our panelists for joining us. We're going to leave it for our viewers to decide who is the real Hindu Hriday Samrat. Appreciate both of you for joining us. Up next is Rahul Kamal.